Hey guys, we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Give a few others time to log on. Um, as always with all the classes, guys, if you're attending via Zoom, please leave me a message so I get you guys on the roster. It won't matter for today, but we'll get in the habit of it.
Hey, just a quick question before we start.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. So on the assignments, you probably said this last week, but I couldn't remember. Do we need to pass the pretest or just the post or both?
So the post test is the one that you have to get 80% within 3 tries.
Okay. And
The pre-test, I don't care what you get. I just
okay.
want to see that you guys have taken it
Okay.
and that so I just use that for my lecturing.
Okay. Sounds good. I kind of went with one without maybe looking at the book as much as I should have. So I got a 79 on the pretest. So, okay. So I don't need to take that again.
The pre-test, that's fine. The pre-test, you're golden on that.
Okay.
It's the post-test you have to get it 80% in 3 tries.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, tonight's going to be short and sweet. We'll go over some tips and stuff as far as taking the MyBrady Labs stuff. We'll hit a little bit on the national as well. And then hopefully we'll be done by about 7 tonight. One thing I'll ask you guys too, I sent out just a few minutes ago the link for Zoom for last week's meeting. If you guys get a chance tonight, log on to that. Let me know if it works for you. If you're having issues with it, holler at me and I'll see what I need. It'll be a Google link instead of a audio file. Audio file is just too big. And then the other question I want to ask most of you guys that are here, is there any other issues you guys are having with the MyBrady Labs? That way for like Norm, Kevin, Jessica, you guys, are you having any issues with that, or have you been able to get on and create your accounts?
I've been able to do mine just fine.
Okay. Kevin, were you able to get on and do yours?
Yeah, I was able to look at it.
Okay. You're doing good with yours too, DJ?
Yeah, I've got mine set up.
Okay. So some questions that I've been asked, and some of them here today again too, and so we'll just hit on those. So just remember the pre-test is take it before you do any of the book work. I don't care what your grade is, what your score is on it. Just make sure you take it. All that does is give me an idea of where to lecture when we start lecturing on them. The next part of it will come up is your reading. If you don't, like we talked about last week, if you don't click on the reading in the assignments tab, it won't let the post test populate and for you guys to take it. So just make sure to click on it and you can just hit OK and come back out of it, or you can read it in the app. I don't care, in the assignments page. And then the post test, you should have 3 attempts to get 80% on it. Okay. That being said, and today at annual training, I had a lot of the guys ask me up there, and one of them brought up a good suggestion that I want to pass on to you guys. If you take the post test 2 times and don't get 80% on it, wait until we lecture on it and then do the 3rd try. Because once you do the 3rd try, then it will lock it and you can't do anything more with it from there. And you'll have to get with me to unlock it. So I would take your guys's chance now, do it 2 times. If you still don't get the 80%, wait till we lecture. Also, if you do that, it'll throw a flag to me on my end as the instructor, and I can make sure and cover those topics that you guys are missing there too. The other comment that was made, guys, is for those that just got the book in the last week, chapter 1 and 2 are actually some of the easier chapters or the smaller chapters, and there's a lot of reading to them too. So please, 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 please take the chance, get ahead on this between now and August 20th, so that if you have a busy week or whatever, you're ahead on it. There's no problem. You can do the pre, post, reading, all of it. You can be on your end, can be completed with it before August 20th. And I would strongly suggest you guys take the chance and do that. The other part of it too, that was asked today for the hands-on part of it when we start it, it will be Wednesday night in Wells from 6 to 9 at the Wells Fire Station. It should be completed by the time we start the hands-on. And then for you guys at the mine, it will be before your shift. If you're on swing shift, it'll be 3 hours before it. If you're on day shift, it'll be 3 hours after. And then if you're on graveyards, it'll be 3 hours before. So everything will be before, other than day shift. It'll be at the end of your shift. I really don't want to come in at 3 in the morning and teach, and I don't think it'll do any good for anybody to do it there either. So that's what to expect when we hit the hands-on portion of it. Any questions on that?
Hey, you said Wednesday. Is it on the paper? It says Thursday. So is it Wednesday or Thursday?
So Thursday is what the state's recorded. For you guys in the Sanpete side, we'll do it Wednesday night from 6 to 9.
Okay.
And the new one that come out, I'm waiting for the final approval from the state. as soon as I get it, I'll email it out, and it does show Wednesday night for you guys.
And that, when does it start to be Wednesdays then?
It will be November 14th, I believe.
Oh, I see. So we keep this schedule until the hands-on. Sorry, I
hands-on,
misheard you.
No,
Okay.
you're good. No, the lecture stuff will stay Thursdays from 6 to 9. So it's
Okay.
a while before we hit the hands-on.
Okay.
Okay. All righty. So, and I apologize, guys. Today I had a nice PowerPoint set up to show you guys some tips and tricks. And when I went to open it in my email before I came over, it said it was corrupted and wouldn't let me open it. So we're going to go off of my memory, and I'm going to help you guys with this. But I want to start you guys looking and thinking at these questions and prepping you guys for the national. So the first thing that they always say is when you look at these multiple choice questions, there'll always be 2 of them automatically you can take out. They're obviously the wrong information in it. So you can look at it and just eliminate them, especially with the national. The way it'll show you that the 2 of them are wrong is look at it as wrong treatment. So let's say we have a diabetic that's showing an altered mental status, and what's your first step of treatment? So one of them will be administer oral glucose. One will be transfer to ALS. One of them will be check a blood sugar. One of them will be check a blood sugar, and if below 60, give them sugar. Okay. So for that, the 2 of them, and we go over this, I know I may not make a lot of sense now, but the 2 of them that you can eliminate right away, and they look to fill this one out, is that with a diet altered mental status, we don't give them sugar without some kind of something to say, oh, they need it, right? There's a good chance they do need that, but until we have that test, we don't give that. The other one is you can treat, we don't transmit over to ALS. So it comes down to the blood glucometer, right? So on that, we do check it, and the reason is if it's below 80, we are going to give glucose. So it'll throw in, the national always throws in 2 of them with the right treatment, and then the other part that throws in the reason why. So the right treatment for a diabetic that's showing altered is that we got to get a blood glucose. And then the why is because we're going to give them sugar if they meet the criteria. So as you guys start looking at these test questions, my grade laugh, but really well, where at the beginning, it makes them fairly simple, but it'll start to throw in as we throw in anatomy and fits, as we throw in medical terminology, as we throw in some of the medications. It's also going to throw in the why part of it. And that's where we in the state of Utah have really struggled over the last few years as we went to this national, is throwing in the why. Pedro, I see you're there, and you can testify to this hopefully with me. Until a few years ago, till we went to the national, it was hammered in our heads as instructors and hammered in our head as EMTs that we do not diagnose. If you see A, you do B, and we didn't care why. You just did B because you've seen A. Well, the nationals went to their diagnosing, and they want you guys to have a field impression and a field diagnosis of what you think is going wrong with this patient. So for the national, if you don't come up with some reason on why you're giving the treatment, you're going to miss the test question. Okay. So that being said, when we start diving into the anatomy and phys part of it, it becomes, that's the crucial part that we have missed as a state, is diagnosing, okay, well, giving this medication or giving glucose because the cells need glucose function, and that counteracts his altered mental status. Before it was just, oh, he has an altered mental status, he's below 80, we're going to give him sugar. And it didn't matter why. Well, it matters because the brain, the heart, and in particular, like glucose, the brain needs sugar to function, and needs that energy. So we've had really in the state as instructors focus hard on that. So when we guys jumping into anatomy and phys, pay attention to those lessons. Okay. And as far as on the medical end of it, when you guys are looking at these questions, when we dive into the specific medical emergencies that you guys will be tested on, whether it's cardiac, respiratory, diabetic, altered, all of those, it will touch a lot on the anatomy and phys on those and what it is the medication's doing for that patient. So try and remember some of those and study those and look at those test questions, because it will add that why to it. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. And you guys on Zoom, just remember, if you guys come in muted, so if you want to talk, you have to go in and click and unmute yourself. So the other part of it for the MyBrady Labs part of it is especially if you miss, like I said, for the post-test questions, dig it through the book. And I'm going to give you a little secret as an instructor. They do not follow the book. So I've had it scramble the questions, meaning if you're sitting down and doing it with somebody, their question 2 is not going to be the same as somebody else's. And it doesn't follow through the book, meaning 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, it does scramble them that way. Okay. So you can't follow through that way in the book, and don't think you can use somebody else's answers that way. Sorry guys, it's the way I've set it up. It's not an option. The other part with it too, guys, if you do miss it and you get that 80, it will on your test questions give you, okay, it was section 1.12 or 1.13. And in your test books, your chapters, it will break that down. That's meaning the section in the book that it's referring to. So you need to go back to that chapter and that section and look at that specific area. Okay. Does that make? And there goes my kids by on who knows what. Anyway, sorry guys. Does that make sense on the book part of it, guys, as far as how to find, if you've missed the question, how to go find what part of the chapter you need to look at? There's a lot of radio silence today, guys.
Yeah,
There was one other one on there that I wanted to hit on with you. National. Oh, the other part with it too, guys, that in the past that we've struggled. If you're struggling with that particular part, like I said, that's part of the pre-test, and the post-test is so I can see it. But please, please, if you've missed it and we start lecturing on it, on the top of all my lecture slides, it will have the sections that we're covering, like 1.1, 1.2. If we're into that area and you guys don't know it, the only question that's a stupid question is the one that wasn't answered or asked. Because I promise you, if you guys have a question with it, there's 10 or 15 others in the class that have the same questions as you, and then nobody's brave enough to ask it. So as you're going through this, please, 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 feel free to ask. If I'm doing something that makes you uncomfortable, let me know. If one of the other instructors is doing something that makes you uncomfortable to ask the question, the same thing, let me know. We'll address it and try and get that taken care of so you guys are ready to go. The other part too, the nationals and the MyBrady Labs that they hit on is you guys pick a spot at home and a time of day to do this, because today the wolves that I visited with and others throughout, the hard part is everybody thinks, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll get this, or I'll do that. Set a time. If you do any of the college classes, and which this book and curriculum does follow what it is a college class and curriculum that we're following. You just don't get the college credit, sorry. But what they say is for every hour that we spend lecturing, you're going to spend 2 hours outside of it lecturing, which means we're lecturing 3 hours a week. You guys need to be spending probably 6 to 9 hours a week in the book to stay up with it. Okay. So set a time, set a quiet place. For me, when I was going through and doing my paramedic, it was from, I'm a night owl. So from 8 to 9 at night, I had a room that was set up for my college stuff, and that's where I did it. And my kids knew that during that was just this time. You're going to be doing that, and there's no other distractions. This is what we're focusing on. I just don't want you guys, like I said, the comment that a lot of them made is, oh, well, there's a lot more reading. There's a lot more to it than what I thought. And there is. It truly is a college course and program that we're following. So it will take some time that way. But I promise you, if you follow the steps, put in that time at home to learn the book part of it, you can and will pass this part of the class. Okay. But those are the big things that the National Registry hits on, is do the quiet place. And then two, I know there's a lot of questions that you guys are going to look through. By the time you're done, you're going to see around 14 to 1500 questions in this course. The National Registry recommends that you guys see at least 900 to set the basic. So hopefully by the time you're done with this, once we're done with the hands-on, I'm going to give you guys some apps that will help you that way, so that when you guys are ready to sit down and take the national, you're so sick of seeing text questions that you'll breeze through it. Okay. Any questions that way for me, guys, as far as taking the test and getting ready that way? The thing that I'll tell you, and any of you guys that have done this, if you wait and get behind, it is so hard to get caught up. Take the time, get ahead right now. You'll thank me for it in the long run, I promise you. So for you guys at the mine that are doing this through the mine, looks like there's just a couple of you. Kathy Joe did end up with the paper books today. They're 1,450 pages worth of a textbook. So about 700 front and back, a little over 700. We're looking at if it's going to be cheaper to print them at the mine, or by the time we do print and ink and all that, Chad and I are supposed to sit down tomorrow. We may just order paper copies for you guys in a 3-ring binder. They're like, for the 3-ring binder, it was $45, I think, something like that. Yeah, with the shipping part of it. So for you guys at home, if you want the paper book of it to follow through, especially where this has the audible part of it, where it reads it to you, it's $45 online. And Kathy said she ordered it and didn't do express delivery at all. She ordered it on Thursday or Friday of last week, and it showed up yesterday morning at the mine site. And we're usually a day or two behind what it would come to your house. So I think within 3 days, you could probably have that text here. That one is not on back order. Okay. The other thing for you guys too, next week, there will not be any lecturing. We'll start up the Thursday before August 20th. But next week I'm in court, and we'll just give you guys that time to catch up. It will come out in an email stating that. So heads up, next Thursday we will not meet. Okay. Is there any of you guys that need a CPR card? Jessica, do you have yours, or did Cammie get a hold of you yet?
I need one.
And you're on the price side, right?
Yeah, I'm in the mine.
Okay. This is JB, right? I'm just trying to see whose voice is moving on me here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, this is JB.
Okay.
This is Jessica. I still need one too.
Okay. We
Cammie,
may,
Cammie has not told me anything, so I don't know what's going on there.
there's 5 or 6 others that need it. So next week we may try and do that on a Wednesday night up at the mine.
Okay.
So I'll let you guys know. Would Wednesday night work for you up there, JB?
Yes, sir. I'm straight graves, so that'll work for me.
Okay. And we were able to have it done by 10 o'clock. So we should have you ready for 10:30. It'd start at 6 to 10 is what we do.
6 to 10. All righty.
I'll let you know. I'll post it on the board, and then I'll email it out too.
Are you doing the 8-hour refresher on Monday for graves?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing
I
all
got a
of
few
them.
questions too.
Okay. Yeah, I get to do all of them. So I'll be there tomorrow morning at 6, tomorrow at 6 at night, and then Monday and Tuesday, just in case.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll get to see and hear me then. Yeah, catch up with me and we'll answer any questions you have then.
Yeah, I'll save them for then. Thanks, bud.
You're welcome. Like I said, guys, this one was short and sweet. I just want to keep encouraging you guys to get in the book and keep moving on that. So unless you guys have any other questions, that's all I
Brandon.
have for you tonight.
Hey, Brandon, I got something I can probably contribute to this. When I was doing the book, when I done the national, a lot of the stuff, instead of if you don't want to waste a turn on the book, on the test, your pre-test and stuff like that, what I went through it and copy it, by hand and done it by hand, that way I can make sure, that I was doing it right instead of going through on the computer and missing a turn. You know what I mean? So um, just to make it a lot easier, that way you're not getting locked out of doing a test or a pre-test.
So what Pedro's saying, guys, is it'll let you flip through those questions, and before you submit it, you can write it down by hand and then go back and look at it that way. So it doesn't burn up one of your chances, so you guys are secure with when you submit it. And that's totally fine with that post test. And it won't, so if you started it and you wrote them all by hand and went back in the book and spent the next day finishing and checking them, you could come back in and it still doesn't count as an attempt. Until you hit submit, it doesn't count as an attempt. So it shouldn't time you, it shouldn't do any of that. So that's a great suggestion for you guys to get through on those post tests. The pre-test, don't worry about it. Answer it the best you can, click submit and let it go. You just get credit for taking it. I don't care what the score is, just take it. But for the post test, you don't burn up your 3 attempts. That's a great suggestion. Thanks, Pedro.
Yep.
Any other issues with the program yet? Okay. If not, guys, thank you for you at the mine. Like I said, I'm there. I am at every one of the annual retrainings for the next 5 days. So you guys will get to see and hear me lecture there. I'll catch up with you there. And then hopefully, I don't think any of you guys were there that were there this morning. I should have an answer on the paper book, whether we're going to copy it or just order a bunch for you guys at the mine. So
When are we gonna know on that?
I should have an answer tomorrow from Chad.
From Chad? Okay.
So we were supposed to sit down and discuss that and a few other things with the class. So anyway, so I should have an answer for you there one way or the other by the start of class, whether it's a copied or an ordered one. I'll have a paper book for you if you want. How many of you guys want it from the mine?
I do.
Okay.
I think, I
Yeah.
don't know, what book is it, Brandon? I think I still got my old book. Is it a Pearson?
It is a Pearson. It's
Brady?
it's the My Brady Labs, the Brady, but it's the 14th edition.
Okay, I think I have the 13th edition.
Yeah, they just came out with the 14th, the first of the year.
Okay.
So,
Well, I mean, I can follow mine. I mean, by no means, it's just just to get some hours though. That's basically what, I'm going to try to do.
and it's with very few exceptions, it's the same thing. The only thing that the 14th edition did is it updated to the new AHA regs that came out since the 13th edition. So a lot of it's CPR, some of the Narcan and overdose stuff changed as far as your guys's protocols that way. So
Yeah,
truly
I
there
was
are
working with mine up there a couple days, so.
Say that again. Somebody's talking over you.
Hey, this is JB. Too. Sorry.
All right, JB, just a second. I'm going to mute a few here. Just a second. All right, try that again. You still there, JB? I know it won't let you. All right, you're unmuted now, JB.
Hello?
There you are.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm actually sitting in my car close to the mine, relaxing, and somebody pulled up asking questions.
Oh,
I need a paper copy as well.
Okay. I'll probably just plan on getting one for all of you guys that are in it. So I'll have them, like I said.
Is there a better version? I heard you talking about.
The 14th is the latest edition, which is the textbook we're using. The 13th was the one that,
right? But
so yeah, that's the latest and greatest there is.
there's
There's other programs that do it. Sorry, JB. We wait until each one there's going. There's other programs and books that do it. The reason that I've went with this one is the guy that wrote this book, Dan Limmer, is one of them on the test writing committee. So most of these questions, you have a strong possibility of seeing them either word for word or pretty well identical to what you'll see on the National Registry, which is the reason why I went with him.
right on. I heard you mention a second ago something about an audio version or audio files with the book.
So with the 14th edition, when you click on the e-text or through the assignment, you can click on and it reads it to you. It has a full audio version of it.
Oh, when we're doing the online portion.
Yes. Well, the book is online,
Okay, I got you.
so it'll read it to you that way. The only downside that we found is there's no way to download it to like an iPhone or iPad. So you have to have an internet connection for it to read it to you. That's the only downside.
Okay, I got you.
I don't think they'll let you download it just for copyright part of it. So, but as long as you have an internet connection and they're signed into it, it'll
Okay.
read it to you.
And then 2 years later, when that information's outdated and somebody says, well, I have it here that y'all said this, and then they're liable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And you got to love that part of it. The liabilities.
Oh God, people are idiots.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
I was just telling these guys, I've went from meeting with an attorney on EMS stuff to meeting with an attorney on water stuff, and then back to the attorney on EMS stuff today. That's been my day from 1 o'clock on as attorneys.
Oh,
But
God.
I love it. I love the legal aspect of it. So when I talk on and tell you cover your butt and document, that's what I've been on today with them, is having them email me the copies of all my reports so that I can review them to go to court. So I speak from experience, and a very painful experience, but so far so good. Nothing's been able to, thank goodness it's all been documented. But anyway, I
Right.
speak from experience, and I truly want to cover your guys' butt. So anyway, anything else, guys, for tonight? Just because we're
On
late. Go ahead.
on that CPR card, the CPR card we did before when we were up there at the mine and we did the test and all that on there,
Yep.
are those getting mailed to us or?
They'll be emailed to you. So that one was mine. Same thing. I clicked on it thinking that I was giving a BLS instructor part of it. And I tried to make you guys all BLS instructors, not BLS providers. So they kicked it back. I talked to her on Monday. She assured me by tomorrow morning that I can email those cards to you. So expect that tomorrow morning.
All right, sweet.
But they no longer email or they no longer do a paper copy. It's just a PDF copy of it, and you can print as many as you want. But it no longer comes as a written copy.
Okay.
Any other ones for me?
Should I talk to Cami again and see if she's gonna get a class together, or should I go a different route somehow?
I'll get one between now and the first of class.
Okay.
I know she's going through a lot right now, so
Yeah.
I'll do that
Okay.
to take that off
Okay.
her.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All righty, gents. Like I said, if you will do me one favor and try and open that email link that I sent out to you, and let's make sure that works before August 20th too. If nothing else, you guys have a good night, and we'll catch up with you the Thursday before the 20th.
All right, then we'll see you tomorrow at the mine.
Oh yeah, thanks, Pedro. Hey guys, same thing. I've only got 3 people that messaged into the chat saying they were here. Message me if you were here. Just get used to that part so I can get you on the rolls, please.
I don't have to do that, do I, Brandon?
No, you don't.
Okay. No, just making sure, that when,
Well, actually, Pedro, for you for hours,
uh-huh.
you probably better, just so that on the rolls, like if they audit and say, "Oh, prove it," well, I can say, "Well, here's the roll for this class," and Pedro attended it to count for hours.
Oh yeah, like I know how to do that.
So down at the bottom, there should be a chat, and just click on it,
Oh yeah, okay. I got you.
and then just say Pedro was there.
Oh gosh.
Gotta love technology, Pedro. All right, guys, I'll leave the link open for 4 or 5 minutes for you guys to message, and then I'll shut it down. Have a good night, guys.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Bye.
Yep, see ya.
You too.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start traveling for work. So I'll be like in a different state every week. So when we start the in-person stuff, how can I make that up?
Let me get back to you on that one. That one's a hard one. Will you have
Okay.
days of the week you're in?
Yeah, so there'll just be a couple days here and there that I'll be here. But you're saying that you want to start switching it to Wednesdays now, like after the in-person one starts?
When the in-person one starts for you guys, it'll be Wednesday nights.
Okay.
Or you can do Thursday after mine.
Okay, perfect. We will just go about it then when we start in person then.
Yeah, we can work. We should be able to work around and get you the time you need that way.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a bunch.
And then the other thing, Bailey, too, that we can look at if you want,
Yeah.
so Chris Nielsen, I have a few instructors in Nephi
Mhm.
that may be willing to help too on days if you're in on off days. So get with me
Okay.
and see what we can do to work that out.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.